This is Adventure for Life. I'm Joel. Welcome to day 8 of the 15,000 mile Grenadier cross-country trek. I am just entering the land of enchantment, New Mexico, headed to Carlsbad, New Mexico, to Carlsbad Caverns. By the way, if you look right there, I have crossed over the 10,000 mile mark. I actually did it yesterday, I believe, and just didn't video it when it rolled over. But so it'll be interesting when I get done with this trip. I'll be over 20,000 miles, and not that it matters, but kind of wonder if I'm got more miles than anybody else at this point in time. Anyway, I'll see you in Carlsbad. And I have arrived at Carlsbad Caverns National Park. I've been here a couple of times before. Really good formations and whatnot inside the caverns. I've been to, several other caverns before, Mammoth Cave and whatnot in South Kentucky. Mammoth lives up to its name. It's a lot larger than Carlsbad, as I remember. But Carlsbad is great, and I look forward to going. And I do want to give you a quick update on the Grenadier. The crack in the windshield, it's growing. I have called Warner Ineos in Salt Lake City. I think it's actually West Valley. And again, I'm going to get my first service, 12,000 mile service done there. And I thought, well, I'll see if they've got a windshield. And they do, and they have been fantastic so far. By the way, their customer service couldn't ask for any better. I did ask them if they'd had issues with, if they'd replaced a lot of front glasses or windshields, and they said they have replaced some. And, I mentioned, and here's the crack right here. I mentioned that, I'd had some little rocks, and it's propagated to there. So it goes from here to there now. It's about 10 inches or so. Anyway, I asked them if they'd had a lot of, replacements already, and they said no, but they've had a few. And interestingly, it has not been like big rocks that have hit the windows, but it's been little chips. And because I had some rocks hit this window, but none there, and then there's no marks anywhere. Well, I started looking closer, and you're not going to be able to see it, but right there, if you can see it, is a little tiny ding. And so, I looked closer. I didn't see any dings before. I talked to them, and then after I talked to them, I said, well, I'm going to look a little bit closer and see if I can see any kind of indication of any impact. And of course, I saw that. So anyway, I'm working with the insurance company. I use State Farm, and with the guys at Warner Ineos, and we're going to see how well they cover it. I did get an initial quote on the windshield from Warner, and I think they said it was going to be about $2,200. So that is one expensive windshield. And it's not just a windshield. The guy said that they've got, service department said they've got to recalibrate the camera, I guess. The camera up there in the middle after they put the new windshield on. So anyway, hopefully I'm going to get all of that done next, I believe it's I can't remember. Maybe it's next Tuesday, not tomorrow, but a week, about 8 days from now. And I get that done at the same time I get my oil changed and all the other services done. And so, all right, so let's head into Carlsbad Caverns and see what it's all about. Obviously, I'm hoping they'll let me video inside the caverns and it's not too dark to be able to see anything. Okay, so here's the entry into Carlsbad Caverns. I've been here twice before, probably 25 years ago, and then 25 years before that. So I certainly don't remember any of this. I remember the caverns themselves. So anyway, this just some barren, hilly area here, and we'll see what it looks like when we get there. So there's the exit of the visitor center. The front's around there to the left, but I'm actually going to do the self-guided walking tour. And so here's the entrance area. I can guarantee you that all those structures over there are new, and the Indians from 800 years ago did not build those. Anyway, I'm actually doing the walking entrance. You can get on an elevator and go down, but I want to walk into the mouth of the cave and just do it by foot, obviously. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll shoot some more when we get there. And this little amphitheater here is for people that come here at night. So there's a bunch of bats that live in the cave, and every night around sunset they come out. And so I know when I came here before, this wasn't here, this amphitheater, but a bunch of bats fly out every night. I'm sure it's thousands. It said it was a Brazilian free-tailed bat. Now, why in the world it's not the New Mexican free-tailed bat, I have no idea. And by the way, if you can see those little animals flying around right there, those are not Brazilian free-tailed bats. It's a bunch of regular old birds. So anyway, this is a really cool entranceway here, and you can see there's the mouth of the cavern, and I'll get a closer shot when we get closer. But this is really, really spectacular. Okay, so there again, I've gone down a little bit further. So we're supposedly going to walk down 75 stories, roughly 750 feet. We'll see over the edge here, so obviously you can't see all the way down in there, but you can see the winding path that the people are walking along, and this is really deep. I remember, when I came here before, all of this path wasn't here this way, so it was a lot more rugged or whatnot before, but again, really, really, really cool view. So if you can see on the far wall, it's not just the bats that are living here. There's a bunch of birds living in here. It called them some kind of swallows, but what kind of mixture of birds there is in here, I don't have any idea. By the way, I asked that park ranger right there how many Brazilian free-tailed bats are in this cave, and she said about 400,000, which that's pretty incredible. And the reason they are not New Mexican free-tailed bats, at one time they were New Mexican free-tailed bats, but they discovered that these bats migrate around, and they found the same species in Brazil, and the Brazilians were named first, so these just took on the name that the bats that they'd already identified in Brazil had, so that's why Brazilian free-tailed bats. So there is your Brazilian free-tailed bat living in New Mexico. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how good the camera does down in the cave. This is extremely steep, by the way, so I'll do a quick look up out of the cavern now. So there's the out, and there's where we're going. By the way, this is supposed to be like a 2.5 mile walk or something like that, or maybe the cave's 2.5 miles deep. We'll find out. So it's dark enough in this cave that I'm actually having to be a little bit careful about how I'm walking. But anyway, there's the first stalactites that I've come across. Again, stalactite means it's holding on tight to the ceiling. Stalagmite is coming up from the ground. So this is the entrance into the cave from in it. So you can see the sun up there coming out. That's the mouth of the cave. And then if you can see here where the rocks that are lit up are, this cave was discovered in 1898 by some local young cowboy, and he dropped something he caught on fire in here to see how deep the cave was, because he had seen the bats coming out of the cave, and so that told him that there was a cave around here somewhere. And when he got to that drop off where it's dark, right in the middle of the camera right now, where it's dark there is a 36-foot drop, and he created a ladder out of sticks and barbed wire and climbed down into it with just holding a lantern. So that was the original discovery, and here's a view of just again, I'm very close to the entry of the cave at the moment. There's an area of the cave that they call the Big Cave, and I'm not sure if this is it or not, but this really is just immense. So I'm doing this 360, and again, I'm hoping it's not too dark with this camera to see what I'm seeing, but this really is just an absolutely immense area. I'd say it's 120 feet high, probably 200 feet wide, and it just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, I don't know if you could see down in there again, you know, there's some light on the far wall, but this is much steeper than I can remember. I see people down that are probably 150 feet, maybe even 200 feet below me, and we're getting ready to just do these switchbacks until we get down there. So this is the bottom of what I was showing you a second ago, and again, hopefully there's enough light. There is the top. Now that's not the entrance. I'm way past where the entrance is. That's all man-made light, but it's amazing how deep this cavern is. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually looking up and down, not just turning the camera. Okay, so I'm probably another several hundred feet deeper into the cave. We've got opened up into another pretty wide expanse. There was a very narrow spot that we went through a few minutes ago that reminded me, I think they call it Fat Man's Walk or something like that in Mammoth Cave, where it's real thin to get through. But anyway, again, this is, I'm going to keep saying it 100 times, but really, really, really great place if you ever have a chance. Well worth it. This room is huge. This was in the shot that I had just a second ago, but now that I'm down right next to them, I thought I'd get these two fingers, stalagmites. There's a really, really cool, I don't know what they call that, but wave of just sediment. I mean, it's just all fantastic. So we're still going down, and it's been probably 20 minutes, and there's a room full of stalactites that I thought I'd shoot, but it's unbelievable how deep this is. So if you can see those wooden stairs right there, and then those stairs up there, that used to be the entrance to the caves. They opened this cave in 1926, and all the way into the 50s there was no elevator and there was no walkway through the entrance that we've been doing. So anyhow, they climbed obviously way down on some set of wooden steps and then got into, so we're not in the great room yet. I thought maybe what we had seen before was the great room, but the great room is still coming. Okay, this is the big room, and we'll see how big this is, but the sign back there said it was 1.2 miles all the way around. And so, and you may not be able to tell there, that's kind of a, it's cauliflowery looking formation. There have been many different kinds of formations. Anyway, again, I'm hoping that this camera does, I mean, the camera never does justice to what I'm doing, but I'm hoping that you can at least get some kind of idea of the immensity of this place. And again, 1.2 miles just in this room, and some of the beauty in here. You know, we're seeing this with man-made lights put behind it. Hard to imagine what this was like when the first explorers, cavers, whatever you want to call them, came down here with their lanterns and explored this cave. So I'm starting to get an idea of the depth here. And again, every one of those lights are behind a variety of formations. This room is really just amazing. And it goes as far as I can see. Obviously it's dark, so that's not saying a lot. I'm trying to shoot the areas with the most light. There's a column over there, there's a stalagmite, a bunch of stalactites up there. It's amazing how it's all white. The stones are all white. It just, I saw something earlier, said something about sulfuric acid that had etched the stones or whatnot, but anyway, that entire ceiling is covered with thousands of stalactites. So they're calling this one right above us the lion's tail. If you can see that, it's a stalactite, and then it's got like popcorn or cauliflower, whatever you want to call it, hanging off the tail of it. So it is like a lion's tail. This almost looks like the Chinese terracotta warriors. They're about the same size, and there's a bunch of, again, that cauliflowery, popcorny kind of thing. There's another, I'm going to call it a flow stone. Again, ceiling is 100% stalactites everywhere. But this is really cool how, you know, it's weird how some of the stalactites are smooth and real pointed, and of course this stuff down here looks like popcorn. If you can see this one well, there's the stalagmite, there's the stalactite, and there is, if you can see in the middle, it's actually joined probably 4, 5, 6 inch diameter right there in the middle. Okay, I described the ladder that the young man that discovered this cave used, and several years later some explorers came and used a ladder just like that. So that is metal, just twisted around with some sticks shoved in it to make the ladder. And remember, they're going straight down into darkness. This cave is just immense. You know, I know they call Mammoth Cave Mammoth, and I've been there. I don't remember how big it was by comparison, but this cave is massive. So I've basically been descending this whole time. Once I get to the big room, I kind of leveled out, but here are 2 lower levels that go down another 90 feet. If you can see it, you can see some light in the distance. Again, I'm hoping to goodness this doesn't just show up as a bunch of darkness, because it's fabulous. So there's another cool stalagmite, but I was really wanting to focus on that little cave there. It's almost like a spider's web or something. It's like a cone shaped, and I think it, you know, ends back there somewhere. Obviously has all the stalactites on top of it, but there's an endless number of formations in here. Here's another view to try to get the depth of the big room of Carlsbad Caverns. Here's the most white and lit up formation. I remember this from when I was a kid coming here. That is just absolutely incredible. So I forgot to take an extra battery down there, so there's some things I didn't get. Honestly, there was so much I wouldn't have been able to get anyway that it wouldn't have mattered. There's a Grenadier, obviously. You can see the parking lot is less than half full, although it's probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I spent about an hour in there. You could have easily spent 4 hours in there. It was about, I think the fee was $16, but I had a national park pass, and so it was included in what I had already paid my fee. It was, I rode the elevator out. It was, you know, it was even going downhill, it was strenuous. And when I say that, I mean, it was not that big a deal, but if you had any kind of mobility issues, that would not be something that I would do, although there were a couple of people down there that had ridden the elevator down and then walked around in the big room and then rode the elevator back up. By the way, the elevator was put in exactly 70 years ago, 1954, so that's cool. Anyway, I'm going to run back up to the visitor center for a second and then head out. I'll probably video a little bit on my way out just to see a little bit more of the approach or departure, however you want to think of it. Just giving a little look. This is the departure, obviously. Just giving a little look to the road and some of the scenery around here. It's really nice. I'm going to do this little scenic pull out here. I'm gonna end day 8 of the 15,000 mile Grenadier cross country trek with a video of White's City restaurant and saloon, the Cactus Cafe and restaurant. Anyway, this is right outside of Carlsbad. Doesn't look too busy. Maybe it gets busy at night or something. Anyway, we will see you next week on day 9. Well, it seems like there's always an addendum. We're in White City, New Mexico, and there are the aliens. Now, the aliens are actually, should be in Roswell. Well, you don't see many things with a name on it, and here I am across the street from White City Cactus Cafe, and it's the Joel Volunteer Fire Department in White City, New Mexico. Who'da thunk it?